All right, this meeting is being recorded and will be rebroadcast on the Town of Barnstable Government Access Channel. In accordance with Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 38, Section 20, the chair must inquire whether anyone else is recording the meeting, and if so, please make their presence known. Not that popular. Okay.
Councilors Clark. Here. Mendez.
Here.
Turkelson.
Here.
Bloom.
Here.
Burdick. You have quorum.
You guys want to jump right into it? Or do you want to do minutes and last?
There's only one set of minutes, that's the 29.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not yelling.
Question.
Oh, goodness, no, I would never yell at you, Councilor Mendez.
Excuse me, what's your name?
Mr.
Hi,
Egan.
good afternoon, Mr. Greg Egan.
All right, come right on out.
Okay, thank you. Oh, yeah. Okay, great. Thank you. Yes, please. Hi, nice to see you. This is Greg Egan.
Judgment.
Hi, nice to see you. Hi, Kristen, pleasure. Nice to see you. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for stepping up.
So, you check already full council. What interests you in the steamship authority full council?
Frankly, a couple of people asked me if I would have interest in it, they brought my attention to it. And after several discussions with several different people relative to the job description and time that might be required, I'm here with you folks today. So,
Okay. Council Clark.
Thank you for stepping up, appreciate that. You're my constituent.
yes,
Thank you very much, and I
Yes.
appreciate that. We received a endorsement from former councilor Jones, thank you. So appreciate that, thank you.
yeah, it was very nice of you.
Yes, so that speaks volumes as far as I'm concerned. So this is a very, how can I say, valued position for the town of Barnstable. And with your background, appreciate that you set up. I really have no more questions. I appreciate that you have done so and that Bob Jones has endorsed you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. My one of my not concerns, but my question was, what this particular skill set and background would best fill that position, and so no one's perfect, but I think with some of my interest in my background, I might be able to help both of us.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Council Jefferson.
I'm gonna pass for her.
Council Bloom.
I think your background is like perfect for this, and you, as Chris said, recommendation from Bob Jones is equal to me. So I don't know if we're voting on it today, but if we're voting on you, I'm ready to vote you in.
Appreciate that.
Council Jefferson.
When you said if there was something, as far as skill set, nobody's perfect, is there anything particular to you that might make you stand out from others as far as your skill set to bring to this particular position, as opposed to your other, position that you've already volunteered your time at the town, and obviously running a business, so there's something
Sure.
that is kind of makes you stand out from
Well,
potential other candidates.
I appreciate that question. I was kind of more concerned relative to what the job would require. Specific, whether it was a lot of administrative work or sort of town or town to town relationships and things like that. I'm certainly not an expert in those kind of things. I've been assured that it's more operational, more, as far as operations of the steamship go. And so that led me to sort of like a comfort level relative to what the job required. Rather, I just didn't know what the full description was. Certainly familiar with the steamship and how it operates from afar. But learning about the port council and the board and what the relationships were, and what their meeting was, and who reported to who. So that I sort of meant from that perspective.
That's it.
Right.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, Cynthia will be in touch. She'll let you know, and, I'll talk to the committee, see if we want to vote today, we can. If not,
Yeah, I'm in no rush, certainly. I appreciate your consideration and, you know, whatever the timing is, the timing is. And I thank you for your time.
great, thanks for coming in.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it very much. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, you got it. Thank you. Thanks for having me in first too. Otherwise I gotta have another meeting. Yeah. On the waterways. I'm happy to do it.
We
Yeah.
have 43 committees, so.
I know, it's a lot, and you guys do a lot of time and a lot of things for the town, and I certainly appreciate it as well. You know, they say sometimes if you wanna get something done, ask a busy person, you know? So people always say, oh, I'm too busy for that, I'm saying, okay,
You're my.
we're all busy, you know? All right, thanks again, take care, bye-bye.
Mr. Warren, any public comment?
I have more of a suggestion, if I may. And that is, for purposes of your taping, just introduce the name clearly of the person of what they're applying for,
Mhm.
nothing more. Unless you want to say it's a follow-up or a repeat or their reappointment. I think if it's done clearly that way, it's gonna make it easier to follow.
All right,
Okay, like,
thanks, write that down.
I would like to ask Cindy if she could reorder. I know it's not possible because the agenda's already posted, but I went back to look at some of the old tape, what Larry's saying. And of course, I couldn't hear the name and I was like trying to listen, because of course, it's out of order, so the video doesn't coordinate, like Greg Egan for the Steamship Authority Port Council was first, and I like had trouble following when I was trying to go back and do some research for appointments. It's because we're not clear and we don't speak the name, and it's out of order. If you don't get it, you're like, 3 months later.
sometimes you could even refer to them by name during the interview and that would reinforce it.
True.
Just to make it clear, I think it makes it easier for Cindy to do the minutes and for you to follow up on it.
Good
That's a great suggestion.
So now we can.
Yeah, I'll do the minutes.
Thank you, Steve.
How you doing? I'm right on it. Guess we'll do the minutes in a minute. What's your name?
Scott Mullen.
Have a seat, Scott.
It's Charlie. Well, just to be pleasure. Kristen Turkles.
Jeff.
Yeah, Dennis. I know you know.
Stacking the deck today?
So this is Scott Mullen, who's interviewing for Waterways Committee.
Look at you, Scott Local Waterways, all right.
Thank you, Ben.
Hi, Scott, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
So what interests you in waterways?
Well, we all live here in this beautiful place, surrounded by water. It still astounds me how many people don't know how to swim or don't experience the water.
Mhm.
However, my family at a young age got me out fishing and sailing as a young kid. I swam and sailed at High School Club, learned to sail and did some racing. Fishing got me going. Gave me an itch that I had to fulfill. Did that for about 12 years as a recreational fisherman, but also as a commercial fisherman. And then I transitioned into being a Mr. Farmer. It's been 20 years. Not sure if that answered your question, but
That answers it, and I'm looking at your resume, and you have definitely know about the water. So, that's all I have. Council Park?
Thank you very much. I do know Scott. And I know him, but I don't have a financial relationship with him. I know him from the shellfish league. And he has definitely put a shoulder to the job. And I appreciate his knowledge of the water, especially on the north side. And he is a firefighter. And effective in serving the community that way. So I have full confidence that Scott will be an asset to the waterways community. And is there anything that you'd like to volunteer beyond what you said?
For my submission, no, that was detailed, I suppose.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Council Jefferson.
I'm just curious, Scott, obviously you have a lot of experience and you've been in the town a long time. How come you decided to step up in this capacity at this time, as opposed to maybe other times, or?
I served, I'm determined amount of time, I think it was either 5 to 8 years on the Shellfish Committee, many years ago. Gave that up and focused on my life and farm career and all that. Not that I'm transitioning to not having children at home, but it's like, this would be a good thing. I think service is important. You're only as good as the people that you got around you, so I feel like I have some knowledge to give. Why don't know what's to be
Council
I love your work experience, volunteer activities. Chris says you're a good guy for the job, so. One thing to keep her.
All right, Cynthia will be in touch.
Okay, great.
Thanks so much for coming and appreciate it.
All right.
Hope that wasn't too big.
No, not at all.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
All right.
I just walked in, I wasn't supposed to.
No,
It's not.
Okay.
Oh, fine.
Jacob?
Yeah, that's fine.
We're very
Jacob
informative.
and Jacob.
How's everyone doing?
Good, how you doing?
Nice to meet you.
we met when we were talking about.
Here?
Here.
Yeah, I was out there today.
Nice to meet you.
I'm not covered in salt water.
That's all right.
You're from the weird.
Yes.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah,
How's it?
great. We just finished putting in the poles. We're ready putting that on. My guy's got a few things to do the next few days, so I'm hoping on Sunday, put the nets up and start fishing every day.
Congratulations. That's very Cape Coddy thing to do.
Yeah, I'll be the last guy to do it. Well, unless hopefully somebody can take it,
I
but
was just saying,
I'm hoping, but it's,
train somebody below you, right?
nobody else was challenging me for it, so,
Mhm.
so there's that's concerning, you know, but it's something I always wanted to do, so.
You've done your teaching.
Good for you. All right, Jacob, so why waterways?
Well, because, I'm on the water more than I'm on land, in this town.
Mhm.
And, I've been on the Shellfish Committee for a very long time. I'm not quite sure, it's 7 or 8 years or something like that. Done a lot there, and, through really the, fish lure application, is pretty obvious, how little the waterways committee really knew about our local waters. They were very knew about what they did, but they didn't know about all the waterways, and I'm in all the waterways at various times of year. I mean, it's not uncommon to see me pull pots in Nantucket Sound and then go fish low tide in Barnstable Harbor in a single day. And I mean, I go to Pompanesett, I go to everywhere in the town, all the waters. And then, you know, through that permitting process, I was just like shocked. People didn't even know that the weirs were out there, some of them, on the waterways committee, which was like, really, you guys, this goes through the committee. And so I just, and there's nobody young on there, there's no commercial fishermen. Yeah, so there's no, I'm an environmentalist. I really care about the environment, and I don't have a degree in it, but I would consider myself an expert. And I think a lot of people would agree that the amount of time I spend in looking into things and spending out there would qualify for a degree, basically. And so yeah, that's why it's missing young people. It's missing commercial fishermen. I also do aquaculture, but that's a secondary thing. But, yeah.
Well, the best degree is life.
Yeah.
Council Clark.
Thank you very much. Councilor Mendes. Okay, thank you, Jake, for
Mhm.
applying and showing interest. I know that you're very energetic and you really care about our community. So
Yes.
actions speak louder than words, and I agree that you are out there.
Yeah.
Hats off to you for carving out the time to do the weir fishery and keeping that keep kind of tradition going, so I appreciate your willingness to do that, and thank you for serving in the Shellfish community all these years.
Yeah, thanks.
Appreciate that.
Take care of us.
I don't know that I really have a question, I guess I have more of a comment, but I appreciate, that you're coming here bold enough to say that some people don't know what they're doing in the committee, and they're still on the committee, and you're, and that's my overgeneralizing that, that's not a criticism of anybody. When I just summed it up like that, I just realized it sounded totally wrong, but,
I happen to agree.
real knowledge of the waters that would enhance, because the whole point of the committee is to really have a working knowledge or a real interest or desire to understand those things, so I think that is more what really stands out from what you've shared
Thanks.
about yourself, and then obviously because you came and gave the presentation on the weirs, and you know, I walked that beach where the weir is, so, you know, I appreciate that I get to see that when I walk, and
Cool.
so I'm glad to see that you move forward and that you're taking this step to bring your knowledge to a committee that could benefit from your.
Thanks.
So I appreciate that.
So, boom.
I'm sorry I didn't recognize your name. from
That's okay.
the years before. When I saw you give that presentation on the weirs, I thought this guy is the future of the town of Barnstable.
Maybe he had his hat off at that time.
Yeah, I have longer hair and glasses on. Yeah, I just hear myself twice a year. I usually wear glasses.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're great. I think you're the future.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I try to be. I try to my hardest every day. I have people that I look up to, and I always say, you know, what would Kurt do? Or he's the weird fisherman who has the primary. These other guys, you know, what would Wayne Hayes do? You know, these other people, and I really aspire to be the best that I can at whatever I do. You know, I put it all in there. Thanks.
All right, you'll hear from Cindy.
Cool.
Thanks, Adrian, thanks so much for coming.
No problem. Thanks, guys. I'm sorry, my hands are a little wet.
Don't worry about it, my hands like that.
Thanks, guys. See you soon.
Thanks a lot, you bet.
Yeah, thanks for your service to the town.
Oh yeah, thank you guys.
Hey, you want minutes?
Sure. I did want to convey you with the other ones, but there's 3 more sets to follow that are already done.
You've been a busy woman.
June is done, and July is done, and I'll do this one obviously, so it'll be 3.
So I wanna make a motion.
I make a motion to approve the appointments committee meeting minutes dated 5/29/2024 as written.
Second.
All those in favor? Okay, perfect, thank you. Just so you also know, Mr. Matt will not be in attendance because you've already interviewed him. He was interviewed quite a while back for
Yeah.
Human Services. The only one that we're waiting for, Tim Hamill, he did confirm that he'd be here, and then you've got the business, C and D on the bottom.
So Chris Beach is not coming.
He should be.
Oh,
And just to make mention, in your packet with the red tab, those are 2 more applications that I received for the airport commission since our last meeting. Or not since the last meeting, how do I,
Right.
since,
Understood.
since when we interviewed the.
Yes.
airport.
yes, since we got done with the 5 subcommittees that got thrown in to your mix.
All right, why don't we do C, we do D. C, just, you wanna read C first?
Sure,
Or Council Black?
agenda item C, discussion and recommendations on candidates interviewed. Airport Commissioner Michael Curtis interviewed on June 26th, 2024. James Reynolds interviewed on June 26th, 2024. Board of Health, Ina Podgornaya, both the candidates interviewed on 20. Sorry, let's see.
No.
May 29th, 2024. Currently on the Disability Commission, and Christine Beer interviewed on May 2nd, 2024, currently serving on the Council on Aging. In the Zoning Board of Appeals, Natalie Bittinger as an associate member to a term expiring 6/30/2027. And she was interviewed on May 29th, 2024.
Okay, so open up for discussion.
So I think if we have two other airport people, we probably should not make a decision on it.
All right.
And I think, did you hear back from Mr. Coyle?
Not yet.
Okay, because we had the other gentleman, Mr. Coyle. Is his real
He's-
name Charles or?
Tom, no, Charles Thomas,
But he goes by
Tom.
Tom. Couldn't remember which one. was
Yeah,
his real
Charles
first
Thomas
name.
Coyle.
Interviewed way back, and he's on the Council on Aging. But was interested in the airport, but there was not an opening when we interviewed him at that point, so we hopefully will hear from him as well. And then we have these two other people.
Yeah, and Mrs. Beers, for because I can't have to recuse from her vote.
For Board of Health.
Yeah.
What's this thing about from Katie Service about somebody named Mr. Reynolds?
That's who the board has shown interest in, the airport commission, so I sent the correspondence a while back, but I reprinted it for today, just so that you have it. Just based on his background of, they're in the middle of their strategic planning. Or embarking on it, I shouldn't say they're in the middle of it, but I think they've had 3 meetings for their strategic plan already. So, you know, if we choose an appointments committee, we gotta get somebody on there so that they're not coming in 3/4 of the way through the strategic plan, according to the chair of the airport commission. Because it would be confusing. to them.
All right, what, to give deference to the people that still want to interview,
Mhm.
why don't we schedule a meeting for early next week if everybody can do it, get them interviewed so we can at least get that on the agenda.
Sure. I'll do that. I'll send some dates out that might be available.
That way we can, because we got a population before, so that way we
Yeah.
can, we can get them on before
Okay.
we actually find out. You guys want, we can do Board of Health. This candidate for Board of Health, and you guys can vote on, Christine Beers.
Horton, we have 2 applicants, Ina and Christina here. I make the motion to nominate Christine Beer to Board of Health. Position.
Second.
We have a first and a second for Christine Beer. Are there any other discussions?
Do I have to step up?
Yes,
Yeah.
if you
I
have,
don't have to, but I feel I should.
well, we'll err on the side of caution just in case,
Yeah.
just so that it doesn't become
Okay, let
another issue.
me get out of here if I get locked up.
Okay, we have a first and a second for Christine Beer, for the Board of Health as a regular member. And are there any other discussions and anybody else that you interviewed or? No? Okay, all those in favor of Christine? Unanimous. Of those in attendance, thank you. I will reach out to her.
You can come on back in.
Is there handcuffs waiting for me?
And also in your packet, I don't know if you're aware, but you also have the vacancies. Vacancies that are on, in your packet. Just for your convenience, so that you know where the vacancies are, that, committees by alphabetical order.
Oh, this one.
Thank you
Um,
for this update.
Also, Turcos and read the,
Do we want to talk about the ZBA or do we?
Yeah. That's what I see.
Yeah, there's 2 current vacancies right now on the ZBA.
Oh, there's 2.
Mhm.
Oh, that's right.
no other candidates?
No, We haven't gotten any new recent applications since our last meeting.
So Rodney Tavano and,
Paul Mazzola
yep,
are both interested. They did not make the agenda because they had gotten back to me after I legally had to post the agenda. It's a timing issue, so there's
Sure.
Peter
Yeah.
Mazzola, Rodney Tavano, and Natalie Pittinger,
Okay, so why don't we
and there's 2 openings.
try to get them in the same day, the 2 guys from the airport commission?
we've already interviewed them.
You've interviewed them already.
Oh, you don't wanna re-interview them?
No, I
Oh,
think we've
okay.
just been kind of rolling this down the road because I think maybe they didn't come at the same time or then.
One was on vacation and the other
Yeah.
one was unavailable due to a work commitment, so they couldn't
Okay.
come in for the last one, but we did interview them already once before. Paul Mazzola, their packet.
So
And I
let
think
me read it together. I remember Tavano,
Yeah, I think the reason we didn't vote on it was because Rodney's, and
out of town or something.
Mazzola's names weren't on the agenda. And when we brought up the ZBA vote, it came to light that only Natalie's name was on here, so we decided to wait until we heard back from them.
Reached back out to them to make sure they're still
So-
interested in the position. And I did that, and they got back to me, but it was
After you had to
yesterday
post.
that they got back to me. So that's why they're not on the agenda, but they should be considered so that you're not spinning your wheels again.
Yes, myself personally, I'm solid on Tavano, I think. I don't know, how anybody else feel about it, discuss it.
You're solid on.
He's not on the agenda.
Yeah, we can't vote for him because he's not on, right?
It's not posted on the agenda.
We can't,
You'll have, if you don't, you can add it under reasonable, matters not reasonably anticipated by the chair because they didn't get back to me in time for the agenda to be posted, or you can put it off till your next meeting and vote on all 3 after I include their name,
I think we should probably do that, so there's
so that it's
no
transparent.
question of transparency,
Certainly.
so that's what we'll do.
They're not an issue of quorum or anything. I talked to the chair of the ZBA and he's fine waiting another couple weeks if necessary to get somebody on there.
Okay, well, throw that on the next agenda,
Sure.
so we can figure that
But
out.
that's why I included their applications because I didn't want you to
Yeah,
make a move until you knew
all right, so that's that.
that one in the airport commission. We have.
Did Christine get passed?
Yes.
I don't know, I wasn't in here. Council Chairperson, would you like to read the
correspondence from committee chair Renee King, chair of the Recreation Commission, and its members have unanimously recommended Sharon Brown as a Recreation Commission representative member to the Community Preservation Committee to term expiring 6/30/2025.
Second.
First and second, does anybody want to discuss, ask questions? Everybody's okay with it? Yeah, it's just a representative member, just so that their needs and liaison. She acts more as liaison than
Yeah.
anything else.
They've been waiting a long time for this.
They have been, yeah. All those in favor? Perfect. I will let Chair Renee know. She'll be thrilled. CBA, we're gonna wait. Jacob, we did. I don't know how you feel about Mr. Matthews. He was interviewed previously for the Human Services Committee.
Yeah,
I know.
he was impressive.
I know Cheryl has reached out to you, Councilor Bloom,
Yes,
several times.
yes, she'd like to have him on the committee, and I've seen him. I didn't know him until he was on the Hyannis Historic District Committee. So, yeah, he's a great guy. He's got a great sense of humor. He's not afraid to. He's got a good attitude about working with other people, and
Who left the?
he loves animals.
Who left to have that opening, you know?
I have to look at my access program. I can get that info, yeah.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
So I feel like we just put people in it, you know,
Yeah,
somebody
Maybe
obviously.
Charlie knows, because you've been faithfully attending those meetings. Who left that,
The human services.
oh, no,
rep.
no,
No.
Hyannis historian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just saying, that was
Yeah,
good.
that's what Kevin was.
Kevin actually told me that the Human Services Committee is of great importance to him. Even more so than science.
He's a very forward-looking guy. Like you said, he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Good personality, smart.
Thankful.
So I think, yeah. I'll wait to see if it's here, so nominate or.
Sure.
I'm just curious who left.
There have been vacancies there at this point. I'm sorry. And it's been, it could use some a shot at better.
They have no video support. Which I think is too bad. We should find a way that's.
Some committees don't necessarily have staff support, and that's where they.
But I would
Wheels
think
fall off the
something,
wagon.
I think it's something that's the support in our town, probably
I agree.
seems like the kind of place that we would want to make sure that there's.
All these committees should have videos.
Yeah.
Maybe some equipment.
Considering we're getting $3.5 million of opioid money that's gonna be used right now, this committee would be somehow used to that process, and we don't have that kind of connection. People can't go back and watch a meeting to what's going on.
Exactly.
Let's take a 5-minute break, we'll see.
Oh, there's a vacant position.
No, I know there's a vacancy, I just wanna know how did it get it, 'cause we put a bunch of people in there. And so I was just wondering how that.
Who's the liaison?
Then, yeah, stuck on Bob Smith, the old town attorney. I knew it was
A Bob.
a Bob, and I knew it was a common last name, Jones Smith. And I just got stuck. Thank you.
It was Liz Rabideau,
Oh, thank you.
who's the one that left Human Services. Well. And I was reaching out to Tim Hamill while I was in there as well, wanted to make sure that I did reach out to him, and he confirmed that he was coming, but maybe something happened, so he can always reschedule him for our next meeting when you guys schedule for one next week, unless he shows up for the next 5 minutes or so.
All right, we're back in order. So. Nominate.
I nominate Kevin Matthews to a vacancy as a representative member to the Human Services Committee, term expiring June 30th, 2027.
Second.
All those in favor? Unanimous.
Sure.
I make a motion to appoint Greg Egan to the Steamship Authority Port Council to a vacancy of a Barnstable representative member. The term expiring 12/31/2025.
Second.
We have a first and a second, all those in favor? Unanimous.
Cindy, how many more applicants do we have for waterways? Was it just these three?
Just those two.
Okay, do you guys discuss that now? Move on to that.
I'll nominate Scott Mullen for the.
Well, hold on, I need to discuss it first. Well, we said, that's okay. All right. Me personally, they're both great candidates. But I think Jacob Angelo brings a very unique perspective. Because he works on the water. We need young blood on these towns, we do, because too many people on these are 50 and above my age. And without a perspective of the younger generation, we don't know if we're really satisfying their needs, what they want, because the things that we decide are gonna affect them more than it's gonna affect us. It's nothing against Scott Mullen, because he's an expert.
Yes.
It really is. But I think that Jacob brings a unique perspective, especially since he's always on the water. And not only that, but he brings a younger perspective that we're lacking on most of these committees. That's my spot. And as you know, I don't know. Hold on. Well, do you want to talk about things first?
Scott, yeah.
Scott.
Yeah, I sort of Scott Young. Quite frankly, I know both of them, they're both hard workers, and I'd be comfortable with either of them coming forward. Jake is already on the Shellfish Committee, and Scott is not. So I'd be inclined to support Scott, given that he's not on the committee at this time. But I'd be just as comfortable with Jake. He has, both of them are rugged individuals with a lot of energy. Scott is both a firefighter and a commercial aquaculturist. Jake is a wild fisherman, wild commercial fisherman, as well as an aquaculturist. But given that Scott's on, that Jake is already on the Shellfish Committee, I'm inclined to say, okay, let's go with Scott. He's not on the committee at this time. I'd be comfortable with it.
That's so legit an argument.
Yeah.
Any.
I think both arguments are, if you asked me to flip a coin, I would be, and I don't wanna mean that that's not important, what we think. I do think that the fact that Jacob interacted with the committee and obviously felt there was a deficit maybe in the knowledge base, and actually, instead of just being, kind of upset by that or disappointed in that or frustrated, he actually decided to step up and join into the committee, which I think is good. And like he says, he's in lots of different waterways and he's gone through the process through permitting. So I feel like his perspective on that level is unique. And I do think, the younger generation coming up is what's going to sustain the committees down the road. But I would be just as happy with Scott because obviously his resume is impressive as well. So I think it's a really great, I wish there were two openings.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Make it easier.
I think I'm gonna go with Jacob.
All right. Do nominations and we'll vote.
I'm gonna move, that Scott go into the Waterways Committee.
Second.
We have a first and a second for Scott.
Now, you can nominate the other guy too if you want.
I move to nominate Jacob Angelo to a position for the Waterways Committee to a vacancy for a member term that expires 6/30/2025.
Second.
We have a first and a second for both candidates. All those in favor of Scott Mullen? All those in favor of Jacob Angelo? Jacob carries.
All right.
Next meeting, time, date and time?
Yeah, Cynthia says she's gonna send us some times.
Do you
Yeah,
wanna do that right now?
you tell me what your, you tell me what your availability is and, I will, hold on.
I'm just thinking. Well, it's much easier.
What's that look like?
Let's see, we have, it's open on the 18th. It's open on the 20th. Until 6th, on the 20th, on the 18th, it's open all day. The 23rd, it's open all day,
I can't, I'm out of town the 23rd and the 24th.
okay. The 25th, it's open all day. The 26th. The 27th,
25th? Yeah, this helps. 25th.
Fine.
Yeah.
25th,
Yeah.
at what time?
3:30?
Do we think that IT can be available?
Yes, Selectmen's conference room is available all day. So whatever time you guys decide to start.
5:30 in the morning?
Didn't say what time you started.
You're the only one up at that time.
You want me to the gym,
Yeah.
the 3:30, 25th?
3:30 PM.
Did we want to discuss, Christopher Beach? He's on the agenda. For housing.
We don't know who he is.
Yeah, Hamel and Beach,
Did I
we're gonna
miss something?
reschedule. They were both supposed to be here this evening, but unfortunately couldn't make it or for whatever reason are not here.
You know? Chris, you said you know Scott Long?
Yes.
Ask him to be in touch with the show.
There's a lot of vacancies in Chilton.
I think, wasn't he on Shellfish?
He was.
He was.
That's what I was telling you.
But I mean, I'm impressed with that.
Yeah.
I feel bad. I'd like to put him on something. I know what you mean.
Put him on the housing committee.
Well, I can also double check with the chair of the Waterways Committee. They were expecting resignation. I just haven't received it yet.
Oh, okay,
That
yeah,
would be great.
perfect.
So there may be a second one, but I didn't have confirmation, so I did not want to list it on the agenda.
Mhm.
For the fear that somebody would
Yeah,
say, oh, there's two openings.
When you email them or call them, however you do it, just tell them that we were all very impressed and we all wanted to vote for him.
Yes,
There wasn't nothing against it or nothing against qualifications.
yes,
And then as soon as that opening comes up, we'll put it right on.
okay. I'll know that tomorrow morning, because I
Okay.
plan on emailing the chair, so I
Oh, okay.
will hold off emailing everybody this evening,
Yeah,
like I normally do, and I'll email everybody Friday.
okay.
But after I've received confirmation that the resignation is gonna happen, and that way we can give him a positive if that's what this committee decides.
So I would like to nominate Scott Mullen for Waterways, should a,
Vacancy
Vacancy.
occur.
We can do that?
Yes, because it's
Oh, it's a pending vacancy.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a positive one.
Yeah.
But I can't act on it until I actually receive the person's I can't take somebody else's word.
Yeah, all right. Someone write a second.
That wouldn't be nice. All right, and then when I reach out to the chair tomorrow or tonight, I will find out if the resignation came in. And then we'll go from there. All those in favor? I just wanted to clarify that we weren't doing anything scrupulous to the
Yeah.
public, that we were waiting on a resignation, but that we had two candidates, so.
That's a great, good for great candidates.
I'll be like Schultz, I don't know.
You're my backup, Larry, come on.
One thing I wanted to mention along,
Yes, sir.
25th at 7 o'clock at Barnstable High School, you know who's speaking?
Is it the governor?
You?
Chris Aaron.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Have you heard him before?
yes,
He is a must. see.
yeah. You're absolutely right. So we'll end it at 6. So people can get there if they choose to. Yeah, that's a good point, Larry.
That was a hell of a basketball player.
Yeah,
Oh, his brother played, his brother was in my class.
okay.
His brother, I believe it was Syracuse, No, that was a kid from the. But his brother was.
Yeah,
Do we adjourn?
he's amazing.
Can I make a motion to adjourn?
You can.
I wanna go next door to the other meeting, so.
Yep.
Second.
All those in favor?
Uh,
You are adjourned at 5:45.
This is too good for us.